The information contained in this video was current at the time it was developed, but may have since changed. The eMR should be used in accordance with your scope of practice and the position for which you're working within the hospital. Local workflows, policies, procedures and associated legislation should be followed at all times. A quiz has been developed to accompany this video. Please get your mobile phone ready to scan the QR code on the following screen. The questions in the quiz follow the sequence of topics throughout the video. Good luck! The eMR, or Electronic Medical Record, is a tool used to record information about a patient's encounter within a health service. It's important to understand that each health district has its own eMR, that is, they are not linked, and that some forms and orders remain on paper. Each time a patient interacts with our health service, we create an encounter. There are different types of encounters, and patients can have multiple encounters at any one point in time. Other electronic systems in our district include IPM, which is used to manage patient registration, bed movements and patient information such as name, next of kin, etc. IPM information is where eMR obtains patient demographics. Other systems that you might interact with from time to time include ERIC, which is used in the intensive care environment, eMaternity, which is used in maternity, and ARIA, used in cancer care. The eMR is made up of 4 main components, including Power Chart, which is used in inpatient, outpatients, and community environments, FirstNet, used in emergency departments, SurgiNet, used in theatres and recovery, and Scheduler, used in outpatients, theatres, and community. The privacy of patients is of utmost importance. The following legislation and policy directives are applicable when using the eMR: the Health Records and Information Privacy Act, the Electronic Information Security Policy, Healthcare Records Documentation and Management Policy, and the Documentation in the Healthcare Record Policy. All of these documents can be found on the South Eastern Sydney local intranet. Accessing or searching for patients not directly under your care is considered browsing, and it is against policy. The eMR is regularly audited to detect browsing. Disciplinary action may be taken. Searching for friends, family, or even your own medical record is not allowed. Maintaining the security of the eMR is also important. Never share your password with others. Change your password when prompted, and exit the eMR when you are finished using it. There are 2 types of downtime: scheduled, also known as planned downtime, and unplanned downtime. If a downtime event occurs, each ward and department has a 724 downtime computer. It is a read-only version of the eMR containing patient records for the last 7 days. This computer needs to be audited daily to ensure it is working correctly. Documentation during a downtime event usually occurs on paper.
To log into eMR, double-click on the Citrix Receiver icon on your desktop. This will launch your Citrix Receiver window. All of your eMR applications will appear on your Citrix Receiver. To log in to the live system, you'll be logging into Prod or Production Power Chart icon. Today in training, we'll be using a training system to demonstrate. Double-click on the icon to launch Power Chart. This will open the login window for you. You'll need to put in your username and password. Once logged in, an announcement box will appear. The announcement box is a way to communicate changes or issues in eMR and associated programs like pathology and medical imaging. It is important to read the announcement box when logging into the system. To stop it reappearing, click Don't Show Again until new information has been posted and click the Close button. When logging into PowerChart in a ward location, PowerChart will automatically load a patient list based on your location within the hospital. You do have the ability to create an additional patient list with just the patients that you may be looking after on this shift. To do that, we'll click on the patient list icon on our toolbar. From here, click on the spanner icon, which is your list maintenance tool. This will open up your Modify Patient List window. To create a new patient list, click New, and the patient list type that we'll be creating is a custom list. Custom will be selected, click Next, and we'll need to give our patient list a name. Once you have entered a name for your list, click Finish, and your new custom list will appear under Available Lists. To have your custom list appear on your screen, you'll need to select it, click the blue arrow to move it across to Active Lists. Only from the active list will your lists appear on your screen. Click OK, and your custom list will now appear. You will notice that there are no patients appearing on your custom list. To multi-select or add multiple patients to your custom list at a time, we can click on our location or ward-based list and hold down the Control key to multi-select patients. Once you have selected the required patients, right-click and select Add to a Patient List, and the name of your custom list should appear. If your patients have not yet appeared on your custom list, you can refresh your screen using the refresh icon, and your patient should now appear on your custom list. When it is time to remove a patient from your custom list, you can select the patient and then click the Remove Patient icon. The Care Compass is the default page for all nursing staff and works directly with the patient list as an enhanced view with additional functionality. It requires staff to establish relationships with new patients before they will be able to view or access their information and electronic record. This process need only be completed once for each patient. To establish a relationship, click on the Establish Relationships icon. Select the patients which you would like to establish a relationship with. It is not possible to unestablish a relationship. Once set, it will remain until the encounter is complete. On the Care Compass, the following information is displayed in each column: patient location, patient name, visit reason, care team, and activities. This icon indicates new orders and out-of-range results that have not yet been reviewed. A red icon indicates new critical results and orders. To clear these results and orders, you can click on this icon and select Mark All as Reviewed. Note that this will only remove this icon from your screen. You have not marked these as reviewed on behalf of all other staff on the ward. A red triangle icon indicates a high-risk assessment score. These alerts will pull through from the completed adult admission assessment. This will example alert you to risk assessments such as Waterlow, malnutrition screening, and falls risks. Now let's take a closer look at activities and what they are. Activities are tasks that are either created by the system, based on information completed in forms, or by other clinicians. To access the activities, click on the number that appears in the activities column corresponding with your patient. System-generated admission activities are the height and weight form, an adult admission assessment, often referred to as the AAA, baseline vital signs, and VTE risk assessment. However, as previously mentioned, there are additional activities that will drop into the Care Compass based on responses in forms such as the AAA. Once we go through the process of completing the AAA, you will see some of these activities appear in the Care Compass as a result. Now let's look at the various ways activities are completed. Some activities only require done or not done selection. For example, baseline vital signs activity requires the nurse either to select done or not done. Documentation of observations is done on the BTF observation chart. Other activities are designed to launch a form, for example, the adult admission assessment and the height and weight form. These will give you the option to document. To open a patient's chart, click once on their name from the Care Compass screen. This will launch you directly into the patient summary page. The patient summary page provides an overview of patient activity relevant to current and previous encounters. The screen, which is based on ISBAR handover model, displays recent data such as results, for example pathology, the last 7 days worth of vital signs and observations, allergies, medical imaging, operation reports, documentation, alerts, as well as a general overview of the purpose of admission and any responsible physicians. Always refresh the screen regularly to ensure that you are viewing the most recent documentation for your patient. To refresh, click the refresh button in the top right corner of your screen. The Patient Contacts page is where patient information, person to contact, and GP information can be viewed. All information stored in the Patient Contacts page is read-only and is populated from the data entered into IPM. Any updates to information for patient details, patient contacts, or GP information must be done in the IPM system. To view results for your patient, select Flow Sheet from the menu bar on the left-hand side. Flow Sheet is defaulted to display 300 results in the past year. You can change the search criteria by right-clicking on the time frame to display filtering options. Use this to filter the results by clinical category, posting range, result count, new results, or admission date to current date results. You can also right-click on the filter and select Set to Today. Tabs set above the time frame are used to find results within specific categories such as pathology or medical imaging only. You will notice that different results are color-coded. To view a result legend, select Options from the toolbar up the top of your screen. Then select Result Legend. New results appear in blue. Abnormal pathology results will appear in purple and are flagged by a H or an L for high or low. Results that contain a lowercase c have corrected or modified data.
If your patient has a resuscitation plan in effect, it will be indicated on the blue banner bar at the top of the screen. To view the resuscitation plan, select the Advanced Care Documents tab from the eMR menu. This plan can be viewed in full by clicking the View Full Plan button, like so.
The Between the Flags observation chart is used to enter patient vital signs. To add vital signs, select one of the Add icons. In this form, vital signs can be documented, as well as neurological assessment, orthostatic vital signs, the bowel management chart, urinalysis, neurovascular observations, and the alcohol withdrawal scale. To record a set of vital signs, enter in the BTF Vital Signs section of the form. Once complete, sign off using the green tick icon. Observations recorded will now be charted on the BTF observation chart. The most recent observations appear to the right-hand side of the screen. Data points will be plotted. You may hover over these to see the exact value recorded and the date and time of recording. The BTF observation chart defaults to display the last 24 hours worth of observations at a time. The time frame may be changed by selecting from the drop-down menu. You may see trends all the way up to 7 days. To record a new set of vital signs, select one of the Add icons to launch a new BTF Vital Signs form. Use the green tick to sign off. If your patient's observations have fallen in the yellow zone, a pop-up alert will appear on your screen. This alert will prompt you to select one of 3 options. Following a screen refresh, re-alert either immediately after 15 or 30 minutes to suspend all yellow alerts. Students must always select immediately. This alert will reappear in the patient's chart following a screen refresh or if somebody else opens this patient's observation chart. Whilst this alert is active but it has been suspended, you will see a yellow alert icon appearing next to the graph where your observations were in the yellow zone. To record another set of vital signs, select the Add icon. Use the green tick to sign off. If your patient observations have fallen into the red zone, you will see an alert appear in your observation chart. Follow rapid response procedures as required. This alert will prompt you to select one of 3 options, as with the yellow alert. The actions selected here will suspend all red and yellow alerts for this patient. You must always select immediately. Whilst this alert is active but has been suspended, you will see a red triangle icon appearing next to the graph where your patient observations were in the red zone. This alert will keep reappearing in the patient's observation chart each time the screen's refreshed or each time somebody else opens this patient's BTF observation chart. Alerts can be cleared only by observations being charted between the flags. On the right-hand side of your patient observation chart, there is an alert history button. Selecting this will display a summary of all alerts that have been triggered for this patient within the last 72 hours, including what observations have triggered such alerts and the name of any staff acknowledging and suspending them. To close the alert summary, click the red cross. Selecting additional criteria will display additional criteria for yellow and red zone response as a reference text. Once you have read this, click the red cross to close. The overview option will display your graphs on the same page. Whilst the overview is open, any active alerts will still appear. Click the red cross to close. Select Documentation from the menu bar on the left-hand side of your screen to open the documentation list. Documentation previously recorded in the patient's chart will appear in this list. The most recent documentation always appears at the top of the list. To add or document your own progress note, select the Add icon from the menu bar on the left-hand side corresponding with documentation. This will launch the New Notes screen. When documenting for the first time, you must select the catalogue of notes that you will be working from. Select from the drop-down menu, Inpatient, Outpatient. Once selected, this will remain your default setting. From this catalogue, we can now choose the type of note that we wish to document. Nursing staff will select a progress note nursing midwifery. The note type and note title will automatically become progress note nursing midwifery. Click OK and this will launch you into a blank progress note. The system will automatically record the patient details, your name and the date and time that this is being documented. To start typing into your progress note, select Use Free Text and your cursor will now appear in your progress note. In PowerChart, there are what's called auto text templates available to you. An example of an auto text is an A to H nursing assessment template. To insert this template, type A in lowercase into your document. You will then notice that a blue window appears saying A to H. This indicates that there is an auto text associated with this keyboard shortcut. To select this auto text, press Enter on your keyboard and it will pull this template into your document. You can now click in next to each heading to fill out your A to H nursing assessment. Once you have completed your documentation, you must select Sign Submit. Clicking Sign Submit will open the Sign Submit note window. Ensure that your note type and title are listed correctly. As students, it will be mandatory for you to request endorsement for your documentation. In the Request Endorsement field, type in the name of the person responsible for co-signing your documentation. The system should locate them. You can use the magnifying glass icon to conduct a search for the correct person also. Once selected and correct, click Submit. You will now be prompted to enter your password. Your document has now been signed. A notification will be sent to the person responsible for co-signing your documentation to alert them that it is complete. Students must notify the person responsible once their documentation has been completed. After you have signed off your note, you will return to the documentation list, and your note, being the most recent entry, will appear at the top. Students do not have the ability to correct their documentation. If you have noticed that you have documented in the incorrect patient's chart, you must also ask your supervisor to rectify this for you.
Additional key learning points. Ensure you are in the correct patient record. Document contemporaneously. Create a new note each time. Do not use the save or the save and close buttons. Always notify your supervising registered nurse, registered midwife that you have a note that needs to be co-signed in the message centre.
Continuous Doc provides clinicians with the ability to review documentation in a single continuous format. It also provides search and filter functionality. By using the filtering options, clinicians will be able to readily access patient information. Documents can be filtered by time frame, document title, document type, document status, encounter type, encounter, designation, and author. A keyword search function is also available. The default time frame for retrieving data in Continuous Doc is the last 7 days. To apply a new time frame filter, select the time frame filter from the list of document filters on the left-hand side. By selecting Start and End Date, you will have the option to select a specific date range from the calendar. Once selected, click Apply, and this will retrieve data from the time frame specified. To apply a new filter, select the document filter that you wish to apply from the left-hand side. Once applied, this will filter out all the documentation selected. Filters that have been applied will be highlighted in yellow in the list of document filters. To clear the filter, click Clear Filter. To apply a keyword search, type in the keyword that you wish to search for in the Document Details section. Press Enter on your keyboard to run the search. This will filter out any documentation containing the keyword that you have searched for and will highlight the word within the text as well. To apply a new keyword search, click Clear Filter. The MAR, or the Medication Administration Record, is the patient's electronic medication chart. This banner shows the date range for which tasks are displayed. Tasks will only display 12 to 18 hours into the future. Scheduled or regular medications display in alphabetical order in the blue section. PRN medications display in alphabetical order in green. Discontinued or ceased medications will appear greyed out at the bottom of the list. Medications that have been suspended will appear greyed out in their alphabetical location within the MAR. Medication administration for students will be as per protocols under RN or RM supervision. The supervising RN or RM will log into PowerChart. The student nurse will then navigate to the correct patient chart, open the MAR, and locate the correct medication to be administered. Select the correct task style. click on the comment field within the Open Administration window. Free text in the following information: administered by student nurse, first initial and surname, and name of education provider. You may highlight this and use Ctrl+C to copy this to paste into consecutive medications administered for this patient. Click OK and click the green tick. Once signed, this dose tile appears as complete. The MAR summary is an overview of the MAR. The clinical range default display for the MAR summary shows medications in 24-hour columns for yesterday, today, and tomorrow. The time view shows the medications in time columns. Administered doses are displayed at the time they were signed. PRN doses appear in the green section at the bottom if prescribed. Orders that have not been given are displayed with the reason for non-administration. Ceased or once only administered doses are still visible, but the order is greyed out. Suspended medications are also shown greyed out in alphabetical order. To see if a medication is ceased or suspended, right-click in the order and select Order Info and go to the History tab.
Additional key learning points regarding medications. Use the blue banner bar to ensure you are in the correct patient record before administering any medications. You must be supervised at all times when using eMeds on medication rounds. Use the comments button when you participate in a medication administration to record your participation and include your name, university, and student number. Do not enter your name in the performed by or witnessed by fields when administering medications. The Cerner Interactive View, commonly known as iView, is used to chart ongoing patient assessments over time in a structured open interface. iView can be accessed from the main eMR menu in PowerChart, FirstNet, and SurgiNet. There are three main parts to the iView screen: the navigator, the view window, and the filter window. The navigator is made up of bands. For example, the adult observations, pediatric observations, and intake and output bands. Each band is made up of sections and subsections. Moving between bands and sections is as simple as clicking the band or section. The results for each section are displayed in the view window. For example, to view the tubes and drains section, select that to view it in the view window on the right side of the screen. The view window includes the subsections, a timeline, units of measure, and the results entered by clinicians. Depending on the band, you might also see calculation fields and conditional logic fields. Conditional logic means that a result you enter triggers a different set of fields based on what you have chosen. For example, in this question regarding contractions, if you choose yes, there's a certain number of other questions and fields that become active. If you choose no, those fields aren't shown. The dynamic group allows for grouping of information, for example, the fields relating to the insertion or review of a PIVC. When a dynamic group is clicked, a label screen appears, which is used to identify the device in the view window. The label screen will differ depending on which dynamic group you select. Complete the necessary fields, then click OK. You will notice the label appear in the view window. The PIVC has conditional logic associated to it, which is indicated by the conditional logic indicator. Double-click the empty field to display the options. When insertion is chosen, the fields relating to an insertion of a PIVC are shown. Complete each field. To sign entries in iView, select the green tick. You'll notice that the text turns from purple to black. To modify entries in iView, right-click on the field and select Modify. Then, click the green tick to sign the entry once again. To unchart an entry, right-click and select Unchart. This will remove that entry. You can also record an insertion date and time if it differs to the time that is given to you in iView. You can right-click on the date at the top and insert a date and time to record an entry retrospectively. When removing a device in iView, it is necessary to perform a process called inactivation. For example, if this cannula was due to be removed or has been removed, you can double-click to activate the conditional logic and then choose Removal. From here, we can say that it is no longer required, the date and time that we removed it, where the patient was when we removed it, who removed it, and then sign the entry. Inactivation is done by right-clicking on the actual device label and choosing Inactivate. The intake and output band is divided into intake and output respectively. Examples of intake sections include continuous infusions, oral intake, and enteral tubes. Examples of output sections include urinary output and urinary catheters. To find the correct hourly column when in iView Intake and Output, select the Refresh button. This will return you to the current date and the current hourly column. To record intake in this hourly column, double-click and enter the value. As per other areas of iView, you need to sign this entry. Select the green tick. If you need to record more than one volume or one entry in the same field, select right-click and Add Result. Enter the second volume. Select the green tick and the two volumes will be added together for you. The Live Help toolbar button provides links to eMR resources. Select the link, then select South Eastern Sydney link to eMR support portal. Within here, you will find reference guides, videos, news items, and contact information for your local eMR trainers. Reference guides provide a step-by-step help with using eMR. You will find reference guides under PowerChart for creating and maintaining your custom list. To find reference guides, select PowerChart, then choose the appropriate reference guide from the list.
All users must log out of eMR when leaving the computer. To log out, use the exit icon on the toolbar at the top of your screen.
For further help using the eMR, click Live Help or eMR Support on the eMR toolbar. Alternatively, contact the statewide service desk on 1300 285533. If you wish to contact your eMR training team, select Live Help and then Contact Trainers